We have Mr. Saurabh with us. He is a teacher, author, editor. So he's having more than 11 years of experience. So the platform is all yours now, sir. Over to you.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about how should we prepare to get more than 95% in ICSE in chemistry. So actually, the thing is that one should understand this fact that the reduced syllabus has given us some more challenges, that we have to pick the questions which are on those topics only which are of concern. If we go through all the things, then we will not be able to answer the right questions, because if you learn a lot and the questions will come from a specific segment, it might happen that all of your learnings give you some knowledge but not the right amount of marks. So we should have a clear vision about how to study and what to study and to get a handful of marks. Okay, so let me share my screen and show you. Okay, so yeah, can you all see the screen? I think it is visible now. Okay.
Yes, it's visible, sir.
Okay, so according to the new syllabus, so what we are trying to do, we are trying to set up about the syllabus in a jot down manner, that what you will study in this last 1 month, which will help you to get a handful of marks. See, every one of you, as said by our uh, Rabindranath Tagore, that everyone is an artist. The challenge lies to remain one once you grow up. So here the basic thing is that here you are growing up in a different scenario. It is not like every other year. Here you are having some issues like COVID and other things, and because of that your syllabus has been changed. So what is there in semester 2? Let us look about the semester 2 syllabus. In semester 2 we have metallurgy, study of compounds, and organic chemistry. These three chapters are the most important part of class 10 of your studies. Okay, so metallurgy, study of compounds, and organic chemistry has a lot of reactions in them, which are very essential, which are very important in all the examinations till date. But here in this semester 2 examination of 2022, it will have a reduced syllabus. So let us talk a little more about this reduced syllabus, what we are going to see here. See, metallurgy, we all know that metallurgy is a process of extracting pure metal from their ores. Okay, so it is done, but how many types of ores are there? The ores of iron are there, aluminum are there, zinc are there. But in our syllabus, we will only focus on the extraction of aluminum. We may learn about the names of the ore of iron, zinc, copper, etc. But we will focus mainly on the extraction process of aluminum from its ore bauxite. Okay, so the marks distribution is, it can be like this, that from the mineral and from the mineral ore or the names of the ore, there might be one question. And from the extraction process, you know that extraction of ore from bauxite requires leaching process, electrolytic extraction process, then purification, Hoops purification process, that is in your syllabus. So these all the part will comprise of 7 marks. Okay, and there are some reactions which are very important to this part, like cryolite reaction and other sort of reaction like leaching with NaOH. These are the reactions which are of most importance in this segment. Okay, then comes alloys. Alloys are mainly made to enhance the property. So here you have to learn about the 2 alloys of aluminum, which are duraluminum and magnesium, their composition, properties, and uses. These are the most important topics that you should cover while you are learning about metallurgy. Okay, so now let us take a roadmap trip of metallurgy. You will have your ores. You have to know about the activity series. You should divide the activity series in 3 segments. the higher activity series, the lower or the mid-range activity series, and the lower activity series. Okay. Okay. So this is the main thing that you should understand about the activity series. Now, here, aluminum, where does aluminum lies in the activity series? It lies in the high reactive metal activity series. It lies with elements like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium. Okay, so it is in the high activity, high reactive metal series. It is present with a high reactivity metal series. Now, if we go for extraction, so how will you extract this metals of high activity series? You have to do electrolysis of their ores. Okay, so we have already seen in the syllabus that what type of electrolysis process are there. Okay, we have to learn about those electrolysis process with the use of specific a salts catalyst like cryolites, which will be helped to take the ore to the solution part. Okay, now in order to study and get above 95% marks, you should know one thing, that if you go on studying, mugging up all the questions, it might fetch you a good marks, but you should also at the same time work smart. How to work smart? You should first point out what type of questions have come regarding the aluminum ores, the aluminum ore purification and extraction process in the past 10 years. Then revise those reactions day after day, or take one day, read it, give 2 days gap, and again revise it. Okay, you have to revise the important reactions. You have to go for revision of the important reaction. You have to look out for the use of aluminum alloys around you. Like if you see a plane, if you just go and see a plane there, you have to find out, you have to understand what it is made up of. Okay, it is made up of an alloy of aluminum, which is a duraluminum, and you have to guess its composition. So you have suppose you have read about duraluminum. Now if you see a plane pass by, or an helicopter sound, or anything, so which are made up of the alloys of aluminum, so you have to guess what type of composition are there. Okay, it is duraluminum or is it magnesium? Okay, magnesium. So this is the main thing that you should understand. Now let us understand about the conceptualization of this part. You have to understand that there are some important set of reaction which are key of all concentration part. Okay, the concentration, extraction, and purification process are the key processes of metallurgy. So you have to learn this set of reactions by heart, and you have to practice it. You have to understand about the catalyst which is being used, like calcium fluoride. Why calcium fluoride is being used there? You have to have a good idea about the flow chart of metal extraction. Just think about the anodic and cathodic reaction of the electrochemistry part that you have already read. And after that, yes, somebody has raised hand.
So we can take the doubts at the end of the session. For now, we can continue with what you're going through. Yeah.
Okay. So now regarding this anodic and cathodic reactions, one should understand that in electrolysis, in the anodic part, anions goes, and in the cathodic part, in the cathode, cation goes. So here, when you are talking about metals, all of them has a positive charge. Okay, all of them has a positive oxidation state, and this positive oxidation state will go to the cathode in that electrolytic cell. So this is the main thing that you should understand. It is all about conception, that all the reaction to extract and metal from its ore will happen at the cathode. Okay, so cathodic reaction are the most important part of this extraction. Now the other thing, that as it has a positive oxidation state, you have to reduce it. So how will you reduce it? By giving electrons. So the process will be reduction. So process of extraction of metals from their ores will be a reduction process. This is your conception. This should be your conception. Now, what about the further purification? Here it is. in your syllabus, you have a Hoops purification method. Okay, it is similar to that of the extraction. The salts that are used as a catalyst in the Hoop process is same as that is used in the extraction of aluminum. So you don't have to further mug up anything. You have to understand that they have some similarity. You have to join the bridge between them and you will get it. Okay, this is the conception that you should bring, that you have to join each and every step. Okay, now understand. Now the last part is understanding the need of making alloys of different types. We have already talked about that, why alloys are made, and alloys have specific applications. Like take the example of duraluminum. It is strong, it is ductile, it is resistant to corrosion. Same is magnesium. It is also resistant to corrosion, but it is very light, even lighter than duraluminum. Okay, so where will we use magnesium and where will we use duraluminum? So these are the things that you should understand. Okay, so this is all that you have in metallurgy. Okay, now there are some important questions of regarding metallurgy. First one is, this is a very common question and it might come this year also. Slag and flux. You have to differentiate between slag and flux, calcination and roasting. What type of ores undergoes calcination and roasting? This is a very common question and it might come this year also. Okay, it has a high probability of coming in this year. What is bauxite and which metal is extracted from it? See, all the questions should be concerned about aluminum. In electrolysis of molten alumina, the carbon anode is gradually burnt away. Why? That means you are talking about the cathodic reaction in aluminum. You have to describe the modern method of aluminum extraction. We have already talked about it in the syllabus section. During the extraction of aluminum, cryolite and phosphor are added to aluminum. The things that are added to alumina during its extraction process to enhance its solubility or something else, you have to learn this type of questions. How alloys are classified? How can you classify the alloys? What are ferrous alloys? The alloys which contains iron. You have to give an example of that. What are non-ferrous alloys? The alloys which do not have any aluminum, do not have any iron. Example, magnesium and duraluminum. So these are the things that you should understand. The question will come regarding it. It will be just like an electron moving around the nucleus. The questions will be moving around aluminum and its extraction process. This is the main thing that you should understand. Okay, then type metal, an alloy which has some property which makes it particularly a type metal or duraluminum. You have to just give it the property, that is, it is very strong, it is ductile, it is resistant to corrosion, that is why it is made. So these are the things that you should understand. Now, let us go to the next chapter. Study of compounds. It will consist of 16 marks. Why? Because it has the longest segment of them all. In this segment, in HCl, ammonia, nitric acid, and H2SO4, you should first see these are the 4 compounds that you need to study. Among these compounds, only ammonia, only basic compound is ammonia, and all the others are acid. That means ammonia should be of more concern than the other 3. Why it should be of more concern? Because ammonia is used in the preparation of nitric acid. Ammonia is used as an identification test, is used in the identification test of HCl. So these are the reason why ammonia is much more important while studying the study of compounds. If we go for marks distribution per subject, per compound, we will see that hydrogen chloride might have only 3 marks in its pocket. You have to learn about the fountain experiment, that is the highest solubility of HCl in water. It is a fine experiment, and it is done with the help of a blue litmus solution. And it is a very fantastic experiment. You should learn about it. You should enjoy the experiment. You will find out that yes, it is a very cool thing. Then the acidic nature. Again, from the fountain experiment, it is a carry forward question, the acidic nature, because blue litmus solution will turn eventually to red and you will have a red fountain. The blue colored solution will come up and you will get a red fountain. So this states its acidic nature and has solubility in water. Then the identification test. as I have already told that ammonia is used in the identification test of HCl. There are some other identification of test of HCl as well. And for that reason, you have to learn about the test, identification test. Now, ammonia, the main portion in the study of compounds, will contain the highest amount of marks, 6. Okay, it will have 6 marks in its pockets because you have to learn about the Haber's process. Haber's process, which is a reversible process, the catalyst which is used, the promoter which is used, the amount of heat that it requires. Everything you should learn about the Haber's process. And in Haber's process, you should also know whether it is an exothermic process or whether it is an endothermic process. This will give you a glimpse of your class 12 chapter, class 11 chapter of thermodynamics. Okay, but it will not have a broad spectrum of it. It will just learn whether it is exothermic or endothermic. The reactions of ammonia, very important again. Here also you will have to merge these chapters, like ammonia, when it is reacted with oxygen in absence of platinum electrode, it gives nitrogen and water. But in presence of platinum electrode, it gives nitric oxide and water. Okay, so one part, the second part is of the Oswald reaction, and the first part is a reaction of ammonia in oxygen, okay, at an elevated temperature. Then comes the reactions of ammonium hydroxide, which is a basic hydroxide. If we dissolve ammonia in water, we will get ammonium hydroxide. And this can also be represented using a fountain experiment. The fountain experiment that we have discussed in HCl, the same thing can be done. Just we have to change the solution, blue litmus solution to red litmus solution, and you will get a blue fountain experiment from here, which was the red fountain experiment for HCl gas. But it is not in our syllabus, so we will not discuss it in this segment. Next part is nitric acid. Again, it has only 3 marks in its pockets. And in this part, see, first of all, you have to learn about the Oswald process. Same thing, the reaction of ammonia with oxygen in presence of platinum electrode. So whenever you are learning something, a new chapter, first see whether they have something to offer from the previous chapter or not. If there is something in common, then you will get a revision at that moment only. Okay, this is here, so I have to revise this part. Let's see this. Do I remember it all along, or have I forgotten it, this part? So just go for a revision. Okay, the oxidizing reactions, as it oxidizes sulfur to sulfuric acids. These are some oxidizing reactions of nitric acid in its concentrated form. You have to learn about it. Okay, now the metal nitrates. Metal nitrates, these are the 2 components which you will be facing and which you will have. See, metal nitrites upon heating disintegrates. Now the disintegration depends on what type of metal nitrate it is. Is it potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate, or it is lead nitrate or copper nitrate? What type of nitrate it is? So this is a very important thing. So these 3 segments might give you 3 marks in total. There comes our sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, the main thing to learn about here is its preparation. The preparation of sulfuric acid with the help of contact process. The contact process is a name reaction, is a name process that is to be learned by heart. Okay, because questions will come from this segment. Questions will come from this segment, contact process. It will carry 2 to 3 marks. It will carry 2 to 3 marks. There are some oxidizing reactions of sulfuric acid as well, because sulfuric acid sometimes used to oxidize some amount of acids. Like if you go for HCl preparation, so what you will see? You will see that NaCl, when you are dripping concentrated HCl in NaCl, you will get HCl gas. But you drip concentrated H2SO4 in MnCl2, you will get a different thing. So this is a main thing of the oxidizing reaction. It is changing the oxidation state of some non-metals. Okay, it is oxidizing that part. It is oxidizing the non-metals. So these are the things that you should understand. Now, dehydrating reactions. So what is the meaning of dehydrating reactions? H2SO4 brings out the water molecule from a molecule which can liberate water and can form a more stable compound. As for example, if you have an alcohol and if you treat that alcohol with concentrated H2SO4 at 170 degrees Celsius, you will have an alkene, because water will move out from that alcohol and results in the formation of alkene. So from this segment also, you can merge some reactions of alcohol that you will be having in your organic chemistry. Okay. Now, the last part is dilute and concentrated H2SO4 reactions. Dehydrating reactions are also a part of this segment. So by merging these two segments, you can have more 2 marks questions. Context process will definitely give you 2 or 3 marks, and from this segment, other segment reactions will also get 1 or 2 marks. Okay. Now, this is an important factor. This is an important fact that you should understand while studying the study of compounds. The most marks that has been carried is by ammonia. It carries 6 marks in total. Now, your study should be in a smarter way. You should study acids and base alternatively. Why alternatively? Because you have 3 acids and 1 base. Acids more or less shows similar type of properties to some extent, except for the oxidizing reaction and dehydrating reaction, oxidizing reaction of our nitric acid, dehydrating reaction of our sulfuric acid. Apart from those, majority of the reactions are nearly same. Okay, which will help you to revise. Now, this fact will help you to revise ammonia. Why? Because ammonia is a base and it has some relation with HCl, it has some relation with nitric acid. Also, if you see in the important reactions of H2SO4, you will find the relation there too. So this is a basic fact that you are having all these things in a predetermined way. It is just like something in a box. Okay, 3 things, and in the middle you will have ammonia. Ammonia will be surrounded by these 3 acids. So you should give your weightage more to ammonia, and at the same time you should not give less weightage to the acids, but you should give more weightage to ammonia because it will hold the maximum marks, and from there you can get a revision from both the chapters, from both the compounds like HCl, nitric acid. So this is the major thing that you should understand. Now this, again, just like metallurgy, here also you have to solve previous year questions concerning the name processes. Name reactions means Haber's process, contact process, Oswald process. These are the main name reactions of the study of compound segment. In the study of compound segment, name reaction always plays an important role. Name reaction processes will give you much more confidence. If you know all the name reactions, if you know all the processes, you will even be able to answer some of the tricky question that might be there in your examination paper, examination question paper. Tricky is, I must say, it will be a good thing to understand the question first and then to answer. Trick is nowhere. It is just some twitch in the question. Okay, someone just will change the order. Someone might change the language of the question, and you might get confused. So don't get it that it will be out of the syllabus, or it will be from somewhere else, because all the questions will come from this segments only. Okay, and if you revise it, if you know about the name reactions properly and the interlinked reactions, then it will be very easy for you to get a good marks. Okay, here also you have to revise the important reactions, and I have also given a date chart. How will you do that? And but you should remember one thing, that revision is must. In this last month, you have to study and revise. Study and revise. It should be in the alternate manner. Revision is must for this part. Now, look out for the uses of acids. If you see some acid in your house, like muriatic acid or HCl, it is present. I think in everybody's house, HCl is present. Okay, it is used in one or the, it is used for some purpose like cleaning of our bathrooms, washrooms, or our basins. Okay, so this is a very important aspect of learning about the uses of acids and bases around it. Okay, now important tips to remember. See, concentrated HCl is not used in place of concentrated H2SO4 for the preparation of nitric acid from KNO3. This is an important tip. Why it is important? Because HCl is volatile and nitric acid vapors will carry HCl vapors with it. You need to understand that why some reactions are done with some reagents only and not with others. So this is a very important fact to understand, that it is non-volatile, it is volatile. Consider HCl and consider HNO3. Both are volatile acids and both will give off their fumes, concentrated nitric acid fumes and concentrated HCl fumes. The property of H2SO4 used in the preparation of concentrated nitric acid is due to its lower volatility. It is non-volatile in nature. You will not find fumes of H2SO4 above H2SO4, above the liquid layer. So that is the main reason of using concentrated H2SO4 in place of concentrated HCl for the preparation of concentrated nitric acid, and vice versa. And vice versa. Why concentrated nitric acid? The question might come like this: why concentrated nitric acid is not used for the preparation of concentrated HCl? Okay. Now, dilute nitric acid reacts with proteins of our skin, and you will get a yellowish tinge. Even I had one during my days of experiments, and that is known as xanthoprotic acid. Okay. Yeah, the skin becomes yellow. Concentrated nitric acid causes blisters in the skin, and it is highly corrosive in nature. Another important thing is that, see, here also I'm talking about some aluminum metal, because this question has came in 2011, which has something to do with nitric acid. So it is an important thing, aluminum metal. Why aluminum metal is not attacked by nitric acid? It might come this year also. Okay, this is an important segment of any concentration. Some of the thin and unreactive protected layer of on the reaction of aluminum metal and oxygen of the air. As I have already told, aluminum is a metal which is present in a high reactivity series part. Okay. Now, some of the important questions that you might face this year is, what is aqua regia? Okay, it is again a combination of HCl and HNO3. Three parts of concentrated HCl and one part of concentrated HNO3. So it is highly corrosive and can dissolve gold or platinum. Ammonia can be obtained in the laboratory from ammonium nitrate and sodium hydroxide. Why? So these are the questions that you will face in your examinations this year. You might face. I'm not telling that the same question will come, but this type of question will come in your examination. Aqueous solution of ammonia turns red litmus blue, and you know the reason. Likewise, there are a few other reactions also. You will check it out. Now, let us come to our final segment of organic chemistry. This part will have 14 marks in its pocket. And you know what? These reactions are very easy to understand, and you can remember it. You can do the, while you are doing revision, you can have a brief idea that it is very easy to understand the reactions of organic chemistry. If you know the type of hydrocarbons, that is alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alcohols, if you know these types, then if you know the nomenclature, that means if one carbon is there, then it will call meth, 2-eth, 3-prop, like that, 4-bute, like that. If you know the nomenclature, if you know the structural isomerism, that is same molecular formula but different structural formula. It is just like, just take off this hand from your shoulder and fit it in the place of your leg. Put out the leg and place it in the place of your nose. Put out the nose and place here. So these are the example of some structural isomerism. If you can imagine that, it is very, very fun to work and play with this organic chemistry. Okay. Here it is very important to know about that, as you have to know about the nomenclature. you will have to know about the parent name of the organic framework. Here also the same thing, you have to see previous year question solving is the demand of not only of this year but for every year. And in this year particularly, you have to jot down the questions of these segments, because here you will have a lot of questions like oxidation of methanol. Okay, you don't have to go for those reactions, but you have to go for the reaction like dehydration of ethanol using concentrated H2SO4 at 170 degrees Celsius. So these are the reactions that you should find out, you have to look up. Okay, this is a main trick to find out which reactions will give you, will fetch you good amount of marks. Okay, you have to revise the important reaction. Here also at least once every 2 days, you have to look out for organic compounds around you, like your LPG gas, the cylinder that is used for cooking. You can use for petrol, some and other things which we might discuss afterwards. Now, important set of questions. What type of reaction taking place between ethane and chlorine for the preparation of monochloroethane, something like that. You have to know about the structural formula of ethene. Just I have told ethanol dehydration to ethene. Okay, you have to understand what is the feature of ethene structure. Why I'm concerned about ethene? Because it is the most favorite question of the board. Lot of question from the years, if you see past 10 years or 15 years, you will see questions from ethene. You will find questions from ethene repeatedly. Back, it is coming back to back, back to back, back to back. So this is an important segment of this organic chemistry framework. Okay, and then the reactions are there of ethene gas. Okay, now how to study? How will you study? How you will go through the study? See, just divide your day. Suppose you want to start from Sunday or Saturday. So that will be your day one. That will be your day one. And from that day to the next Friday will be your day 7. This week, how will you differentiate? How will you divide your week? You must know that the topics which are of more importance to the topics which needs your concern. All the topics needs your concern, but you have to divide accordingly. When you're starting, you should start with metallurgy, because some reactions of metals with acids are there, some reaction of metal salts with bases are there. You need to understand that part also. So first start with metallurgy, then and study regime should be of 2 hours. You are studying for 2 hours, and you have to give half an hour of revision of whatever you have studied. First you have to study for 2 hours, then you have to give an half an hour revision of whatever you have studied. Next comes study of compounds. In study of compounds, you should start with HCl and ammonia. Then you can go for H2SO4 and ammonia. Okay, because you have to revise ammonia. Ammonia will fetch you the maximum amount of mass. You will just find some of the relating questions. You will find some of the relating equations, and you can find out relative questions from your 10 years question bank. Okay, then you will again come to H2SO4 and ammonia. Then you will come towards organic chemistry, organic compounds. Okay, types of hydrocarbons, nomenclature and isomerism. Distinguishment means you have to differentiate between the, suppose what is the difference between alkane and alkene. This type of questions you have to do. The reactions. Then again, the 6th day you will go for metallurgy, and the 7th day you will go for study of compounds. So in total, you will have you have to contribute 3 days to the study of compounds, 2 days to organic chemistry, and 2 days to metallurgy. Okay, and all the best. If you have any other queries, you can write to us here. And now we can go for the question session.
So they must be writing in the chat box. You can check the chat box, as they must be writing it to you directly also. Also, are you going to do organic chemistry? I don't think we are teaching. There's a child who's asking that.
We are not teaching right now.
Yeah. So you can see the doubts in the chat box further.
Let me check the chat box.
Sir, can you see any kind of doubts in the chat box?
No, 1 minute. Let me check here.
Yeah. Because people are, if they're directly writing to you, then I cannot see the chat.
Okay, direct message is there. Good evening, sir. How to study chemical reactions? That is, Priya has directly messaged to me. Okay, now if you are studying for, if you are going for chemical reactions, that you should understand that some reactions are oxidation reactions, some reactions are direct, means displacement reactions. Suppose you are having HCl and H2SO4, so you will be NaCl and H2SO4. So the product will be NaHSO4 and HCl. Okay, this is direct displacement reaction. But if you go for some reaction like MnCl2 and water, like that, so hello, okay, let me check.
So you're perfectly audible.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
Okay. Now the next question. Okay, so Priya, is the answer clear to you? Sir, is slag fusible compound of flask? No. Slag is not a fusible compound. So the next thing is Chris Presson, how to prepare reactions. Okay, I think most of you are concerned about the reactions, right? Most of you are concerned about the reactions. You can just write here. Writing and learning equation is a way to prepare. Okay, let me say how many. Thank you, Radha Manohar. Sir, how many marks may drawing come? Okay, from drawing part, some questions will not come from the drawing part in this segment, I think, because it is of reduced syllabus and a lot of questions from drawing part will not be given here. I mean, I think the board will not give this type of questions. Okay. How will you differentiate between slag and flask? Very important thing. So this is a very important question that you should understand. How will you? It is going away. It is going leaving. Yeah. See, when you are talking about slag and flask. Sorry, dry HCl. Okay. Okay. I will just give the answer. I'll just check. Who has asked about slag? If not too much also, can you please give me a few study tips like how to divide the day? Yes, I have told you right now that you can follow that part where we are talking about the days. Yeah, I think I have stopped sharing my screen. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me give him the.
So your screen is visible now. We can see your screen.
Okay. Now see that here I have given you the how will you divide your days and how will you study. It is a very important thing to understand about the studying pattern. The pattern of study will give you a lot more confidence that yes, you are learning something, you are going through it. You are gaining confidence to get good marks. Okay, this is the way you should divide your week. Okay, you don't have to give a lot of time, but so reaction of ethene with hydrogen is only in the syllabus, not HCl. No, actually the reaction of HCl is there. Some reactions of HCl is there, and I've already told you there are some linking reactions might be present this year. Okay, so reaction of ethene with HCl might come this year to give you ethyl chloride, which gives you ethyl chloride. Okay, so it might come. That is why I have given that reaction. Okay, now for your question between slag and flask, slag is a product obtained by the combination of flask with, means you have to combine it with flask. That means you are making it a gang. Okay, and flask is a substance which is added with a charge to separate the gangue in the metallurgy process. Okay, this is the basic difference between slag and flask. Understood? Who have asked the question? Slag and flask. Yeah. Dakshraj, did you get the answer? Hello? You can write it in the chat box.
Yes, sir. They cannot unmute because there are so many students.
Oh,
So they're not allowed
okay.
to unmute. They can only write in the chat box. So you can
Okay,
just simply read the doubts and answer it. I'm pretty much sure they're listening and they will
Yeah.
have the query to the answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is not fusible with flask, but it see, fuse means it is you are making a reaction between them, you're fusing them. Okay, but when you are combining both, that means both of them are present. Just like if you see, these are two metals. If you join it by some this is one part of a wood and wood or metal, this is another wood or another metal, wood and metal. If you like do this, you're combining them. Okay, you can tie a knot or you can glue it. This is known as combination. But fusing means it is being like this. Wood and metal are coming together. Okay, this is fusion. And fusion does not occurs in slag. Okay, fusion does not, it is combined with each other, but it does not fuse. Okay, Dakshraj, you can write in the chat box. Okay. Okay, now you got it? Okay, good. Now, any other questions?
So I guess we're done with the questions.
Okay, now, sir, how much marks can we expect from the drawing part? Oh, from the drawing part, that means of organic chemistry. Yes, structural representation. There might be there. That means you have to write the structure of. You will get at least 1 mark. Most, if not a very high amount, 1 marks is enough in the drawing part. 1 marks or 2 marks, because whenever you are doing the reactions, you have to write the equations by drawing the structures. Okay, so from that part, if you're writing C2H4 as ethene, so could you tell us the reaction of converting ethyne to ethene? Yes, ethyne to ethene is a very simple process which is done by hydrogenation. Ethyne, CH triple bond CH, and if you add hydrogen in presence of nickel or platinum catalyst, you will get ethene, but it should be of 1 equivalent. Sir, do we have to learn all the alloys given or only certain? Only learn about the duraluminum and magnesium. Only learn about, sir, if dry HCl gas does not turn blue litmus red, then how red fountain? Dry litmus paper does not turn because in their dry state, H plus is not liberated from HCl. HCl does not liberate H plus in its dry state. It needs water. 100% concentrated nitric acid will not corrode your skin unless and until your skin has some water in it. If both are dry, acidic nature will not be present. Acidic nature only exists when a compound can release H plus or proton. Okay. So any other questions?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful webinar. That's all for the day.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.